Usha.
Yes, Sharvari. So over to you. If
Yeah.
we can have a brief introduction about you and what was the idea behind starting Makeshift?
Yeah. Thank you, Raki. Thank you so much for inviting me.
A little louder, Sharvari.
Makerspaces
Can't
and
hear you.
tinkering. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Faint.
Oh shit. Okay, I'll try to be a little louder.
Better.
It's okay now?
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Raki. I have been consistent participant through all your sessions, and I am loving it. The idea behind 21 days of lockdown, 21 days of webinar, 21 days of learning. So this is fantastic idea. And let me tell you about my initiative, Makeshift. I have been working with makerspaces, working with tinkering community and innovation programs for quite long time now. Is there a disturbance?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, fine. It is audible now.
Hello. Am I audible now?
Yeah, go ahead, Sharvari.
From Tinkering Lab.
Sorry, Sharvari, if you could come back, we couldn't get you.
Okay. Okay.
It was mute.
Still not audible?
It was mute.
Yeah, you need to come back. We couldn't get you because there was someone who was on unmute, so there was some disturbance. I am putting everyone on mute, but I don't know why participants are clicking on the unmute again. So I have no clue about it. I keep on clicking on mute, and then I don't know how there is this confusion happening. So if you could just go ahead once again.
I think there is some disturbance from other participants. I would request everyone to please mute their mic. You will get a good chance to speak up because
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Sharvari, you could go on. Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So I will be talking about Makeshift, but at the end, first of all, I want to talk about makerspaces and tinkering labs because that's where my journey also started, and tinkering labs and makerspaces. Okay. Guys, I really request all of you to put yourself on mute so that I can speak. There is lot of disturbance from somebody's mic.
I am not able to figure out who's that because I have put everyone on mute.
I think Subbu Farke.
Okay, let me just check. Because I can see almost all unmute. So I'm not able to. Yeah, Monica. Unmute.
One is Redmi, one is Subbu Farke.
Yeah, done that.
Okay, cool. So, okay, I think more people are joining. That's why there is a disturbance. Okay, so let me just start with my session now. I will be talking about makerspaces, but see, makerspaces and tinkering lab is a progressive nature of education. So I call myself proudly a facilitator rather than teacher. So I will become a facilitator for this session and ask questions to you and We will together drive this session. It's not going to be a one-way session. Okay. So Rafi, can I show my presentation?
Yes, please.
I'm not like that. So कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं हो रहा?
We will be understanding. After that, we will be talking about a school-level innovation ecosystem. What the government is taking care of in the innovation ecosystem. After that, what difference can a school make to nurture spirit of innovation at your particular school, and how can a teacher become facilitator? Okay. So I'm going to show two pictures to you guys now, and you need to tell me which one is a makerspace. Which I think I'm not able to access chat here. Actually, you need to tell me what people are saying.
Yes, I can hear you now. So there is some problem where, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. So my laptop is giving me some issues. Yeah.
Okay. So still there is some disturbance, Rakhi. Yeah, I can.
Humble request to all the participants, please mute your audio, please.
Okay. So Rakhi, I'm unable to see chat here. That's why you will have to help me with the chat.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll do that.
These are two pictures. One of them is a makerspace. One of them is a tinkering lab. You tell me which one is the makerspace, which one is the tinkering lab.
Left one is the makerspace, right one is the tinkering lab.
Why?
Because the left one seems to be more like an exploratory lab.
Okay.
And the right one is more organized, where you can just come and get on the table to make something.
Anybody else?
It looks more like a workshop, the left one.
Okay. So this looks more like a workshop, and this one is more like a structured lab, isn't it? Okay. Any other difference you can spot?
So Asha says that left one is like a community operated one. And the right one.
Okay. So perfectly fine. This one is a makerspace. This one is a tinkering lab. Why? Let's see. Now we will understand the difference between makerspace and a tinkering lab. Now tell me, what all did you observe in a makerspace and what all did you observe in a tinkering lab? Let's distinguish between two of them. Okay, this space is scattered. This is more organized. Any other response, Rakhi?
Makers space has lots of equipments which cannot used by students.
Okay.
They can only used by professionals.
Okay. Machine. Heavy machinery.
Yeah.
What happens in the tinkering lab?
We don't have that much of heavy machines. We have small machines like drilling machines and screwdriver.
Small machines. Okay. And
in a maker space, those tools are being made which will be used for some experimentation. So it's preparing the tools required in the maker space, and tinkering lab is where these tools are being used for further exploration or doing a targeted activity.
In makerspace, you are saying it is used for experimentation, and at a tinkering lab, you are saying it is targeted activity. Or am I understanding it right?
Yeah, right. So not for experimentation, but preparing the materials required for a proper experiment to happen.
Okay.
These prepared materials are then used for doing an experimentation, achieving some objective, and more individual approach. Every person has a place with the materials to work by himself or herself.
Individual. And in makerspace?
It's a collective activity.
Okay. Great. So you guys already know about makerspaces and tinkering labs. I don't know why I'm taking this session, Rakhi. Okay. Rakhi, I can't hear you.
Yeah, I was saying that how do we incorporate this in our school?
Right. So, since now you know that makerspace is different and tinkering lab is different, let's say what exactly constitutes a makerspace. Okay. So now, in a makerspace, there are certain elements. One most important element of makerspace is a community. Like we said, this lab looks like a community lab, and this lab doesn't look like a community lab. This is more for a particular set of audience. So that's right. Community is something which drives the makerspace. Then, now who is a maker? Citizen can be a maker, like me, like you, or a child also can be a maker. And makerspace gives an opportunity to each one of us to go and explore creative spirit of creativity from within. So basically, what makerspace does is to provide an infrastructure. Rakhi, there is lot of noise. I can't hear it. There's a lot of noise.
Your voice is quite clear.
Okay. But
Let me just mute everyone once again and lock the meeting so that no longer we have more participants joining us.
Okay. Rakhi, I can't hear you.
Yes, Sharvari, over to you. I have put everyone on mute and locked the meeting as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying the most important element in a makerspace is a community. Without community, there can't be any makerspace because it is for open to all space where people from different backgrounds can come together and build something, work on their ideas, and do creative stuff, it is not necessarily a space for innovation. This is not something which will tell you to work on solutions. Rather than a maker space is basically a space of exploration where people can just come over, explore machines, explore materials and tools, and then maybe they think about creating something new or copying somebody, which is perfectly fine in a maker space. The goal is to make something, not to innovate or not to problem solve. Now, who is a maker? We all are makers. We do a lot of stuff. So mainly we cook. So that is also one kind of making. We design a lot of things at our home. That is also making. So making distinguishes between nobody. Making is for everybody. Everybody can be a maker, and a child also can be a maker. They just need to understand how to work with materials, how to work with tools, and then they are good to go. There are ample of ideas online. They can just check out what other people are doing and replicate them also. It is okay to not make something of your own, or it is even okay to copy somebody, or it is okay to do something really crazy stuff. I'm going to show few photographs also. Like what kind of, in makerspace, people work with scrap material as well to make something very beautiful out of it. I'm going to show some pictures also. Now, what constitutes a makerspace? Makerspace is something, as I said, it is a common platform. It is a community space. So makerspace constitutes of people. Number one, people. Number two, makerspace consists of lot of material. Material which is not really available to citizens. Material which is as a professional, I have access to only some of the material. Like for me, in my case, I have my own toolbox of electronic gadgets, but then I have access to books. But then somebody might as well have access to some woodworking tools or welding tools or spray painting. So all that constitutes in a makerspace. There is no limitation on what materials, what tools, or what machines go in a makerspace, because makerspace can be as heavy on machinery as we can as we invest into it. But then it is also very, very difficult to sustain a makerspace because again, a community, and makerspace is something will not fetch you money. It is a community initiative. Now, where are they located? Now in India, fortunately, from last 5 to 6 years, makerspace have been booming, and we have makerspaces in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and in some tier 2, tier 3 cities as well. And I think most of you are from Mumbai, so I will give you example of Makers Asylum, which is a beautiful, beautiful space in Mumbai. You all should go and check them out. So in a makerspace, as I said, there is no limitation on material or tools or to make anything. Nowadays, with coronavirus problem, this particular makerspace in Mumbai is designing face shields for doctors. So what they did is to laser cut material like this, and then put a material like this, and then you can wear it this way. So and they are now helping medical staff with their face shields. It is really, really a very important space in a city for people who want to make something, who want to execute their ideas.
So maybe
Now,
we could, focus
tell me
more
that.
on the tinkering labs. Yeah.
Sure, we will do that. Activities and projects, any kind of activities, educational activities also go into a makerspace. Now let me show you some pictures. somebody made this up at Maker's Asylum. This is entirely from scrap, and this is made from welding. Now they have woodworking lab, they have electronics lab, and they also have this mobile makerspace, which go into community and teach students how to make things. This is one of the examples from Bangalore. This is Workbench College in Bangalore. They make games, they have laser cutters, 3D printers, and all kind of things. This kind of art installations are also possible. Then this is a woodworking lab. There are few tools we can see here. Now let's move on to the tinkering lab. So how many of you have tinkering lab already set up in your school? Rakhi?
Not many. No one seems to be having a tinkering lab.
Okay. So tinkering lab, now unlike makerspaces, tinkering lab, yes, Rakhi.
Nilesh, yeah, one school in Vadodara, Nilesh Rathod, they have got approval, and Miss Jaya says that they would like to have a tinkering lab in their school. So if we could let them know about what are tinkering labs and what is the procedure for the same. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now, what is a tinkering lab? So basically, Government of India, after seeing makers movement in India, they decided to have a platform in schools where students can tinker around, and students, it will give a major boost to students' activity, hands-on activities in students. What they did is to come up with the concept of tinkering lab, Atal Tinkering Lab. They are basically there for nurturing the spirit of innovation. So they started as an innovation space. Now, unlike Makerspace, where Makerspace there is general audience, Tinkering Lab is much more focused. With a focused objective, they have created Tinkering Labs in schools. Now, where they are located? They are located in schools nowadays, and if I am not wrong, government is trying to set up 10,000 tinkering labs all across India. And if you want to set up your own tinkering lab, that is also possible. Now, in tinkering lab, it is very, very important to have teaching and facilitation. Rather, makerspace is an exploratory space. Tinkering lab requires facilitation. So, as the audience for tinkering lab is students, school students, they don't know about certain machinery. Let's say you have 3D printer in your tinkering lab. They don't know how to use it. You need to teach them. Also, you need to teach them what is a 3D printer and why to use it, right? And you need to mentor their projects as well. What kind of projects to work on, what kind of problems to solve, how to boost students' creativity, all comes under facilitation and mentoring. Now, what constitutes a tinkering lab? Now, I will also show you few pictures of tinkering lab. Basically, 3D printer has become one essential element of tinkering lab. Then few schools, they would like to have drones in their tinkering lab, or even astronomical equipment. They want to have such kind of equipment in their tinkering lab. Laser cutter is one thing, but it is optional. Not all tinkering labs have that. Electronics is most important part of tinkering lab, because students like to program, students like to work on electronic boards, sensors, and they like to create projects. So the basic motive of starting tinkering lab was to boost their problem solving and innovation abilities. So how to solve one particular problem is something tinkering lab focuses on. What constitutes in that? Electronics, soldering, basic hand tools, a few power tools can be part of tinkering lab. Now, projects and competition is very, very important when it comes to tinkering lab, because it is always good for go for project-based learning and problem solving. So, few teachers, what they do, they take students to nearby community. They ask children to understand what problems are there in the community and then solve them with technology. Now, few such projects have been great student projects and they have taken shape of startups as well.
Can you give an example, Sharvi, of how
I
in
will,
schools children have
yeah.
taken up a problem and solved it?
Yeah, I will. Now, mentoring is most important. Atal Innovation Mission has one Mentor for Change program, which is volunteer-driven program. Professionals from industry and many different professionals, they visit tinkering labs and they guide students on their projects and they take workshops also. Community is one thing which tinkering labs are supposed to build, but till now community part is little sidelined for tinkering lab. Now I'm going to show you a few photographs of projects. So this is from one of the tinkering lab in Delhi. Now see, this is gesture control robot. This is movable dustbin, smart dustbin. Then there are a few 3D printed items. Then this is electronics corner. This is a 3D printer, and there is space for keeping oscilloscope and soldering station. So these are pretty basic than maker spaces, but then they serve the purpose and students create beautiful projects out of it. Now this is one tinkering lab from a school in Karnataka. So as I said, they work on problem solving. Now this school, Hongerana School of Excellence, this school comes from rural areas in Karnataka in Malnad district. So they have a lot of lakes in nearby community. So to clean their lake, students have designed this solution and they tested also in the nearby lakes. So Niti Aayog has awarded them as one of the best projects, and this teacher is their mentor, and these three students of their school, they have built this kind of project. Now this is a prototype. This is not a final project, but at least they started something. At least they started realizing that there are problems in community, and we can take the ownership of problems, and we can, as a student, also we can do something about it. Okay. Now, okay. Now, any questions till now?
Yeah, so what we want to know about tinkering labs is that what is it that it takes to have a tinkering lab in the school, number
Sure.
one. And I also read Miss Jaya's comment where she said that they got approval, but they didn't have
Right.
that many students,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken, applied for Atal Tinkering Lab but couldn't get it due to less strength than required number. So what is the required number of students that a school is supposed to have to apply for Tinkering Lab?
I think the required number of students is 600. I'm not very
Okay.
sure about it. We will go to Atal Innovation Mission website
500.
and we will look into
It's
it.
500.
Yeah.
500.
Yeah. So earlier it was 600, but now they must have revised their guidelines. Now, this is Government of India's Atal Innovation Mission, which has been taking some revolutionary steps to set up innovation ecosystem in education. Now, this is Atal Tinkering Lab, and they also have one more initiative for schools, which is Atal Community Innovation Center. Like this is a makerspace. This should be open for community. You cannot keep your lab just for the sake of using by your students, but this should be open to all the nearby community, so that students from other schools, professionals working out, they can come and they can make things here and they can work on projects here. And also a few facilitators like this guy Rohit, they are very enthusiastic in terms of teaching and facilitation. So it is also up to the ATL in charge to take it forward. They go into communities and they teach, they take all the electronics with them and teach students from nearby villages. They also do teacher training. So it is up to the teacher how to drive tinkering lab. Okay, coming back to Atal Innovation Mission, I have already told you about Mentor of Teams program. Now let's see what is ATL in charge. ATL in charge is a school teacher who is responsible for managing and maintaining this lab. They will be in contact with people from Atal Innovation Mission constantly. How to start ATL in your school? So let me go to Atal Innovation Mission's website. So here, this is the website of Atal Innovation Mission. They have now started something to fight corona, but yeah, here you can find Atal Tinkering Lab, ATL in establishment. Now they have brochure here about all the guidelines, all the requirements of a tinkering lab. Now there are a number of requirements from the school. School should be of, I mean, the space provided and the teacher and how to apply. There are, I think there will be application guidelines as well. Then there is curriculum for ATL. Now curriculum for ATL is based
Are you on the
design
website?
thinking.
Because we can't see the website.
Yeah, I'm on the website. Okay, let me try to share this. Okay, just go to aim.gov.in. aim.gov.in.
Please say again.
aim.
Sorry, unable to understand the letters.
Okay, wait.
aim.gov.in, right?
Just one
AIM.
second. I'm sharing this too.
Can somebody please type under chat?
aim.gov.in.
AIM. Thank you.
Yeah. So the curriculum for Tinkering Lab is basically design thinking. They have computational thinking, physical computing like IoT, Internet of Things. They teach 3D printing and 3D designing. Intellectual property rights is one part. And they also teach students how to create a business pitch. Then now they have drone module, AI module, space module, artificial intelligence, and they have activities like ATL Community Day when when they ask ATLs to showcase projects coming out of ATLs and showcase it to the community. Now, ideation is one of the most important space where ATL is focused on. How to start with ideation session, and they tell teacher how to do ideation with students, how to find problems and how to act on problems. Now, let me go to Atal Tinkering Lab page again. Rakhi, are you able to see? Is it visible?
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah. So now Government of India's Atal Innovation Mission has Okay, so there are so many ATLs all across country. Uh, hmm. Guidelines for ATL establishment. Now they have come up with guidelines. They have handbook, ATL handbook, and application guidelines for setting up ATL. Now you need to go to their website and fill in this application. Uh, See, there are different schemes, and they will give funding support up to 10 lakh rupees. And they ask you to buy certain equipment like DIY kits, 3D printers, electronics, and hand tools. Then there is infrastructure requirement, like you should be having 1,500 square feet build up space, and for some region it is 1,000 square feet space.
Yeah, I
And
think
you need to,
this, if you could share the link of this document, so then we
I'll
can
do
all
that.
go through
Yeah.
and we can quickly get into the, innovation space, the experiential spaces in school.
Yeah, okay. So I'll go back to my presentation. Now, now you know what kind of activities happen in ATL. Atal Innovation Mission and few other companies like earlier there was Intel, now there is IBM, there is Learning Link Foundation. So all these take care of your lab and they help you to have a facilitator at your lab. And they run a lot of programs like project competitions, problem solving competition at school, and they also organize boot camps for students for going through the entire cycle of prototyping. Now, how can you as a teacher contribute in ATL? First of all, you can figure out a space to create ATL in your school, and then you can design the whole ATL setup for your school. Then you can mentor students. You can first understand how to mentor students, and after that you can mentor students projects. You can have the entire space open for the community. You can teach other students as well. Now, what is the value addition to the school? School gets this status of ATL, which is important nowadays, which is the biggest. And now, if you have the ATL, your school is looked at as a progressive school nowadays. Now, it is not just about ATL. There are few more things a school can do. Like you can have your own innovation space. If you don't want to go with the government, you can design your own space. So just get all these things. I will help you if you are keen to know. Then I can help you sourcing these materials. I can help you to connect with the right people for getting material. Most importantly, you should have a soldering station. You should have few electronic materials, few electronic kits. Why? Because there is these electronic kits like Arduino, Raspberry Pi, then sensor modules compatible with Arduino. They help you to get started. Then there are electronic components like resistors, capacitors, and all small components that you can have at your space. Now there should be a display corner like this, which adds a lot of value. Rakhi, can you see my presentation?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah, okay. So display corner is must because this gives recognition to your students. 3D printer nowadays, 3D printers have become very important, but it is okay if you don't have 3D printers or laser cutters. Just get a 3D pen. That is also fun to use and very it gives you a boost to creativity. Then power supply, soldering station, oscilloscope, they are also electronics and they are also important at a tinkering lab. Now let's go to next part. Now, how can you nurture the spirit of innovation at your school? Give students challenges. Why? why challenges are important? Because if they understand that there is a problem, they will look for a solution. Otherwise, they are okay with whatever is happening. So you can design small creativity corners, small experiential spaces, add bit of a technology, like I said. Even if you don't want to go for a makerspace or a tinkering lab, ask them to figure out what's wrong in the community, what's wrong in their house. Let's say what's wrong with this bottle. How can you fix it? Then you can also ask students to design something like this, phone cover. Then maybe design something, an innovative chair or innovative spoon. So you can give them challenges like these, and students come up with beautiful solutions, I will tell you. Then you can also ask professionals in your community to participate. Ask for their time. Ask for their time, maybe monthly, once a month, 2 hours a month, so that they can come and share their experience with students. Ask students to showcase their innovations to big people, so that they will feel motivated. And also, when students come up with prototypes like these, it is a teacher's responsibility to showcase it to the world and get them product ready prototypes. This is the first prototype, but then if you really want to boost your students, give boost to their entrepreneurship skills, get them to the product level, and ask them to go to the community and test whatever they are building. Then ask them to create random art installations. And also, as a teacher, I'm very, very hopeful with having all of you in the session, that you will believe in open learning spaces and experiential spaces also, like tinkering labs or maker spaces. But experiential spaces, it is up to you how to design. What kind of experience are you giving? Show them movies about innovation. Show them, ask them to, just go to the community and talk to people to understand their problems. Then ask them to solve school's problem. Ask them to, to figure out what problems exist in the school premises and what tech solutions they can build for the school. So in these many small ways, you can have a community also, and you can nurture spirit of innovation in your students.
Yeah. Is there a Atal tinkering team, community team that comes to your school to host a workshop? So, for example, if as a school I can't set up the lab, but can I invite the team to come to my school and help my learners explore the material and the experience of a tinkering lab?
So no, Atal Innovation Mission team doesn't do that. They just give. They are creating infrastructure, but there are, like I mentioned, there are few organizations which can come to your school. They will see open spaces in your school, and they can design an innovation lab for your school. So
So maybe then my learners need to visit another school which already has a tinkering lab to explore the lab.
Yeah.
To explore the lab and collaborate with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check BuyBox.
So maybe I can look up on the website if there is some kind of innovation, Atal Tinkering Innovation team that can come and
team doesn't come. Team doesn't come. There are vendors to ATL who provide all the equipment to school.
Okay.
So you need to get in touch with these vendors. One is BuyBox, another is Tempedia. Then there is Avishkar. All these are vendors. You can get in touch with all of them very, very easily with WhatsApp or Facebook. All of them are very active on Facebook. So just go to
Okay. So
any one of them.
STEMpedia. And what is the difference?
Yeah.
Somebody had asked this. What is the difference between a STEM lab and tinkering lab?
Okay, so as such, there is no difference because nowadays STEM has converted into tinkering. But if you literally look at STEM, STEM is what? STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if you are taking all these together, and if you are working on building these skills into students, then it is a STEM. Then it is STEM education. But with these kind of labs, you are already doing that. Just ask students to go to scratch and start. This is a major boost to their computational thinking. It is a platform. So STEM can happen in this way as well. So as such, nowadays there is not much difference between STEM or STEAM or tinkering. All of them have a single agenda nowadays. Anything else? Any other questions?
Yeah. No, as of now, we don't have. So there was this question where I was, wanting to know that I was reading up on Atal tinkering labs and the fact that they do marathons where they want to identify talent among the children in the schools. But if the schools don't have that kind of space or they don't have the tinkering labs, then how are we nurturing this talent of theirs?
Okay.
I mean, how can schools nurture this talent if they don't have the lab?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, if you don't want to go with the government, create your own innovation.
Create our own lab. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But then it is not possible with to register with government competition because government competitions are just for Atal tinkering labs. But there are few different competitions. As in I mentioned about these vendors, right? So they have their own ecosystem. So they also have competition. And recently I was working on one of the projects, Ideate for India. It is over now, but this was, they may go big. I'm not very sure right now, but this was project by Intel and Digital India. And what we did that time was to crowdsource ideas from students. The students had to just submit ideas online, and based on that, we selected 10 students from every state, and we organized 4 different boot camps in 4 different regions of country. So competitions like this, I believe there are competitions like open competitions which do not have ATL. There are ample of chances for them to participate as well. And if you have ATL, then you directly go to government platform.
Fair enough.
Okay. So now, since you know what is Makerspace, what is Tinkering Lab, how to create a Tinkering Lab at your school, now facilitation, as I said, it is very important when it comes to tinkering because these are new things for students and there is hands-on learning. So students might teach them to use tinkering lab. Also, it is very important to ask students to problem solve. Now, let's discuss together. As a teacher, what steps can you take? Because as a teacher, if you want
understand the equipments and the tools, not the.
I'm not talking about
all them in this campus. My child's just outside the school. There is this garbage bin because there's a bunch of now. Tell them don't throw your waste. So they